You bring home a shiny new espresso machine, setting it proudly on your kitchen counter. It is a beautiful piece of metal and glass. You saved up for it. You plug it in. It hums with quiet power. But then, you reach for your favorite coffee mug. The mug has a tiny chip on the rim. The paint is faded. Next to the gleaming new machine, that old mug suddenly looks terrible. You look past the mug. Now you notice the kitchen counter itself. The surface is scratched. The edges are worn down from years of use. Just yesterday, this kitchen felt perfectly fine. It was your happy place. Today, it feels broken. That one shiny new machine makes everything else look cheap. You feel a sudden itch to buy new mugs. Then maybe you need new countertops too. This sudden, unhappy feeling is not a personal flaw. It is a hidden mental trap. Buying one very nice thing secretly creates a cycle of consumption. When you bring a high-quality item into a normal room, it breaks the visual balance. The new item acts as a powerful trigger. It demands that everything around it matches its high level. This hidden rule explains why we suddenly spend money we did not plan to spend. It is not about greed. It is about matching. The brain hates when things do not fit together. This feeling of mismatch is called incongruity. To fix this uncomfortable feeling, you start buying more things. You replace perfectly good items just to make the room feel whole again. To understand this trap, we must travel back in time. We go to France in the 1700s. Here we meet a man named Denis Diderot. He was a very smart writer and thinker, but he was also very poor. He lived a simple life. He did not care about fancy things. Diderot spent his days in a small, dusty study. His room was filled with mismatched furniture. He had an old wooden desk. He sat in a simple straw chair. His books were piled everywhere. For most of his life, he was completely happy in this messy little room. The room matched his simple life perfectly. Then, a sudden gift changed everything. A wealthy friend gave Diderot a gift. It was a beautiful, bright red robe. The fabric was perfect and soft. It was the nicest piece of clothing he had ever owned. He hung the scarlet robe in the middle of his dusty study. It glowed with rich color. It was completely flawless. But there was a major problem. The beautiful robe did not belong in that room. It looked like a king standing in a dirty barn. The bright red fabric made the dusty floors look even dirtier. The rich cloth made the old books look like trash. The robe stood out. It was too nice. A deep feeling of incongruity hit Diderot hard. He looked at his beloved old straw chair. Just a day ago, it was his favorite place to sit. Now it felt ugly and cheap. He looked at his worn-out wooden desk. It suddenly felt offensive. That perfect red robe made him hate his old things. That single nice item broke the harmony of his study. The robe demanded respect. It demanded the whole room rise to its level. His mind could not handle the mismatch. Diderot had to fix it. The old straw chair had to go. He threw it out. In its place, he bought a fine leather chair. This was his very first act of asset replacement. But the new chair caused a new problem. It made the old desk look terrible. So he bought a very expensive new wooden desk. Then the bare walls looked wrong. He bought costly paintings. Next came a shiny new mirror. Then a beautiful clock. Step by step, a massive spending spiral took over his life. The whole study was replaced. Soon all his money was gone. The famous thinker fell deep into debt. His grand new room only brought heavy, crushing worry. To clear his mind, he wrote a long essay. In it, he shared a sad truth. He used to be the master of his old robe, but now he had become a slave to his new one. The beautiful red coat owned his life. It forced him to buy things he did not need. This true story sat in history for a long time. Then, in the year 1988, a scientist named Grant McCracken read it. He studied how people act. He called this spending trap the Diderot Effect. He saw a hidden rule in how we buy things. The things we own act like a family. They fit perfectly together. When you bring in one shiny new thing, it breaks the family apart. The new item forces you to buy more things just to fix the balance in your mind. Today, big modern stores know all about this trap. They use it against you on purpose. They design products to trigger this exact spiral. Think about buying a brand new phone. It looks perfect, but it needs a special case. So you buy it. Then, your old headphones do not plug in. You are forced to buy matching wireless earbuds. Next, you need a special charging stand. Stores call this ecosystem design. They link products together on purpose. Buying one thing forces a long chain reaction of spending. This feeds deeply on your feelings. When things do not match, it feels wrong. It creates a quiet anxiety. A beautiful new phone with dirty old headphones feels annoying. The clash hurts your brain. You do not buy the new earbuds because you truly need them. You buy them to make the annoying feelings stop. You spend money just to relieve the tension of the mismatch. This constant buying destroys true wealth. Real wealth preservation requires you to spot this feeling. You must stop the chain before it drains your bank account. It all starts with one innocent choice. Experts call this the departure purchase. It is that first single upgrade you make. You buy something just a little nicer than usual. Maybe it is a fancy coffee maker. This single item sets a brand new standard. Your brain takes a picture of this higher quality. It becomes your new normal. Suddenly, your old things look wrong. They worked perfectly fine yesterday, but today they feel cheap. A quiet stress creeps in. The old mug does not match the fancy machine. The scene looks broken. Your home feels unfinished. Your brain hates things that do not fit together. To fix this bad feeling, you do something wild. You spend more money. You buy matching cups and a shiny new tray. You do not buy these things because you need them. You buy them to heal the room. You pay cash just to buy back your peace of mind. You want everything to tell one perfect story again. But you can stop this trap. You just need to build a new habit. When you reach for those matching cups, freeze. Ask yourself a simple question. Will this new item actually do a better job, or am I just trying to force a match? Look at your old cups. Do they still hold hot coffee? Yes, they work perfectly. You are not buying a real upgrade. You are just trying to cure that weird feeling. If you wait just one day, the spell breaks, the rush fades. You keep your money. The departure purchase has tricked your mind. You see this trap clearly when people buy a new home, or when they fix up just one room. Imagine you paint the living room a fresh, bright white. You put down beautiful new wood floors, but then you put your old couch back inside. The fresh paint makes the couch look dirty. The new floors make the old fabric look faded. So you buy a new couch to match the beautiful room. But the new couch makes your old rug look terrible. Now you must buy a new rug. Then the new rug makes the old lamps look cheap, so you buy new lighting. You only wanted to paint the walls. Now you have replaced everything. A simple upgrade caused a massive spiral of consumption. This constant need to match things destroys your money. It is a huge threat to wealth preservation. Every time you buy a replacement for a perfectly good asset, you lose money. You take cash that could be growing. You spend it on things that lose value quickly. Your money should be invested. It should be compounding and making you richer. Instead, you are trapped in a loop of lifestyle creep. You work hard for your paycheck, but the money never seems to build up. The Diderot Effect steals your extra cash. You keep paying to fix that feeling of mismatch. You are buying things just to make your living room look perfect. This endless cycle drains your capital. It keeps you working forever just to maintain a matching set of things. You can learn to spot this trap before it snaps shut. The secret happens in the quiet moment right before you buy something new. You must pause. You must feel that slight hesitation. Ask yourself a very simple question. Are you buying this item because you actually need it? Or are you buying it just to cure that weird feeling of psychological incongruity? Look closely at the reason for the purchase. Does the new item give you real utility? Utility means it is actually useful. It solves a real problem. If your shoes have holes in them, buying new shoes is utility. But buying a matching belt just because you bought new shoes is the trap. You are spending money just to make things match. You are trying to fix a feeling. We must understand the clear line between a real upgrade and a forced match. A genuine upgrade makes your life better. Buying a faster computer so you can do your work is a real need. It is a functional upgrade. But buying a new mouse and desk just to match the computer's color is the consumption trap. Those matching accessories offer no new utility. They do not make the computer run any faster. They only serve to make your desk look pretty. Recognizing this difference is your greatest weapon. It explains why we buy things we do not need. When you see the trigger clearly, it loses its power. You can look at the mismatched desk and smile. You can stop the chain reaction right there. The cycle finally breaks. To stop this loop, you need a strong wall. You build it with clear rules. Many savers use the one in, one out rule. If you buy a new coat, an old coat must leave. Without this rule, the human cost is heavy. Families fall into a dark trap. They buy the matching desk. Then they need the matching rug. Soon, the credit card bills pile up. The debt grows deep and fast. To pay it off, parents take on extra shifts. They work long past dinner time. They miss school plays and weekend games. Their time and joy vanish. And why? Just to keep a perfectly matching look, in a home they barely get to enjoy. This beautiful prison confused the smartest money experts for years. They used to think people only bought what they truly needed. They believed every dollar spent made perfect sense. If your old chair worked, you kept it. That was the old rule. But then, a famous money study changed everything. Researchers looked closely at how families actually shopped. The numbers told a shocking story. People were not buying things just to use them. They were buying things to match a feeling. One shiny new lamp made the old room feel wrong. So they bought a whole new room. The experts had to throw away their old books. They realized we buy things to build a new picture of who we are. True wealth often hides in the most broken things we own. Think about an old, worn-out straw chair sitting in a bright new room. Most people see that chair and feel a deep urge to throw it away. They want to buy a new one to make the room look perfect. But smart savers see that old chair differently. That worn straw is a sign of true power over your money. It sits there, slightly broken. It proves you did not fall into the spending trap. Every rough edge is a dollar kept safe in your bank. It is not a sign of being poor. It is a quiet, bold choice. Keeping that old chair means you control your life, not the stores. It is a pure prize of financial freedom. This forces you to think hard. To break out, you need that guard at your door. You must set a hard spending limit. You decide exactly how much money to spend on home goods each month. You write that number down on paper. When you hit the limit, you stop buying. You do not replace fine chairs just because you bought a new table. This protects what you already own. It stops useless asset replacement. Your money stays in your bank account. Letting your things clash can feel strange at first, but soon it feels freeing. You look at your faded rug next to your brand new sofa. You do not feel shame. You feel proud. That mismatched room is not a bad look. It is a badge of honor. It proves you have real control over your money. You are no longer trapped by the trigger to match everything. The long-term result of this choice is huge. When you stop the buying spiral, you save huge amounts of cash. That money does not sit dead in a closet. It goes into your savings. Over 20 years, those saved dollars grow into real wealth. This is how ordinary people build a strong wall of money. They get rich by keeping the money they earn. By stopping the chain reaction, you protect your future. Every dollar you refuse to spend on a matching set goes to work for you. It earns interest. It buys freedom. People who master this rule stop working earlier. They break the cycle of debt that traps others. Their wealth is not hidden in fancy things. Their wealth is real, safe, and growing. This change in habits changes whole families. Parents stop working extra hours just to pay for new stuff. Children see that they do not need new toys to be happy. The pressure to look rich fades away. Families find peace in what they already have. They stop looking at what other people buy. This shift lowers the stress in the house. When people stop chasing the perfect set, they breathe easier. They sleep better at night. They do not feel the heavy weight of debt pressing down. This is the true reward of beating the trap. It is not just about a bigger bank account. It is about taking your life back. You are the master of your own choices. This personal choice ripples out into the wider world. In recent years, money experts in New York noticed a shift. They saw a movement of people choosing to buy less. This quiet push fights back against a giant system. For hundreds of years, stores used the Diderot effect to make us feel like we need more. Now, millions are waking up. Think back to Denis Diderot and his beautiful scarlet robe. That one perfect piece of clothing cost him his peace and his money. You do not have to follow his path. You can look at a shiny new thing and let it stand alone. You can simply wear the robe, keep your old desk, and hold on to your wealth.